I was playing Football Manager the other day and I think I might have stumbled across the best player that nobody is talking about. This guy isn't just the best Wonderkid nobody's talking about, he genuinely might be one of the most underrated players in Football Manager history. He's got amazing starting attributes, a cheap price in pretty much every save, yet nobody is talking about him. And there's a reason why. That's right, today we have a player that I think you'll all be signing after this video, but do make sure in this one you stick with me because there's a few things I need to mention about him, and also we're going to talk about how to get the best out of this player because he can play quite a few different positions. But before we continue, if you do go on to enjoy the video, smash the like button, subscribe for more, and make sure you comment down below which Wonderkid you'd like to see next in the series. We do take your suggestions on board and it really does help us out, so drop them down below. It will give us some players to look at for the future. But with that being said, let's go and take a look at this player. And we're heading over to the Uruguayan divisions and we're going for the team of Penarol. Now before I show you him, just to let you know, in this database I do not have Uruguay loaded, I don't have players from a nation loaded. All I've done is I've got the database size set to large with the Spanish division loaded, as that's where we're going to test this player. So there is no real reason that this guy shouldn't be in most of your saves. There's only 12,000 players in this database out of the possible 450,000 and he is one of them. Like I say, I stumbled across him the other day when I was doing a rebuild for my own channel, and all we're going to do to find this player is go to Penarol, go to all players. You can see there's barely any of them loaded in that are actually here, but there is a 19-year-old by the name of Franco Gonzalez. Now look at him straight away and tell me, how is this guy not somebody that is coming up more often in your saves? You might see some flaws in his game which are the reasons why I think people don't talk about him, but straight away if you look at this guy, you have got a central midfielder who's either-footed, who can also play as a number 10, and he's useful in a few positions. Check that off the list. He's versatile with good ability in some key areas. Second thing is his starting attributes. Now yes, there are some poor physical attributes in his game. His strength is low, his jumping reach, but he's only 5'5". He's not really going to be a physical presence, but on the ball, the 19-year-old has 13 corners and crossing. He has dribbling, first touch and finishing that most strikers in your game will struggle to ever reach. This is really high levels already at the age of 19, 16 finishing, 15 first touch and 14 dribbling. He can create too with 12 passing, 12 vision and 14 technique. He's got work rate, he's got loads of other attributes that I haven't covered. He's got flair, he's got great determination in this save, but don't worry about that too much because that is variable. But either way, you can get this player for £3 million at his maximum. In my save, I was able to pick him up for £1 million. I was able to sign him in my Rangers save in the Scottish divisions, obviously a very big club still, but maybe not the kind of pulling power you'd expect you would need to sign the kind of player that Franco Gonzalez is. He's already a number 9 for his club, an important player. He has got a big future ahead of him, but in Football Manager, there's a reason I think he isn't very highly rated. One, you've got some of those attributes that clearly are going to affect his game and his physicals, but number 2 is his potential range isn't actually the normal that we'd look at. Normally, we don't look at anybody below a 130 to 160 in these videos, but this guy actually has a range of 120 to 150. Now, the best thing about him is he already starts very, very close to that potential range of 120. His starting current ability is over 110, meaning if you got the worst possible version of him, this might be as far as he goes, bar a little bit of development in some attributes, which is not bad at all. You are guaranteeing yourself here a star player. But the good thing about him is if you get him on the higher end of that potential 140, 150 kind of region, you're going to see a lot of development still from what we're seeing here, and I already think he is an elite player. You might think that's crazy for me to say, but when you look at some of those attributes, I guarantee you will not find many players, whether they're 29, 30 or 19, with technical attributes like this, good mentals as well. Yes, there's some flaws in his game, that is obvious, but I think a lot of scout reports won't be rating him very highly in your saves because his star rating won't be the highest because of that potential being lower than most. But if we're talking about ability right from the off, Franco Gonzalez has it. So now I'm going to show you just what he can do. Let's move him over to Real Madrid and show you how we're going to set him up for success. Firstly, his position. Now, I think there's two ways you could use this guy. The first one is as a number 10. Shadow Striker, I think, is a good role for him with the finishing ability that he has. Yes, you could make him an attacking midfielder, an advanced playmaker. He'd do a good job. I think Shadow Striker suits him very well in this attacking midfield role. This is a pretty basic tactic we're running here. A 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, no special instructions. The alternative way you could use him is if you use, say, a Mezzala on the attack duty. I think Franco Gonzalez would do a good job in that that role too. You can see if we select that central midfield position, it is what is suggested for him. He's a decent tackler, he's got good passing, but I think his clear strong suit is getting forward and having a shot at goal. He's got good long shots, good finishing, good dribbling. He's a threat to any defence when he comes forward, so for that reason, I think Mezzala on the attack or shadow striker would suit him perfectly. Now, we're training him on that shadow striker role, we're not focusing in on anything else, but for you guys, the additional focus I suggest you do would either be working on his strength, if you want to work on that. The alternative would be potentially to work on his balance, which you can do in the agility and balanced one, or you can go for something like final third if you want to work on a couple of those mental attributes that are slightly weak. Either way, wherever you use him, Franco Gonzalez is one of those that doesn't necessarily need to develop massively to be a big player for your side. He's already got the starting attributes, he's 19, he's ready to go, so now let's see what he can do right from the off with Real Madrid. And after 2 seasons at the club, Franco is doing well. He's sitting at 130 current ability, so he's still got quite a while to grow, but you can already see he is starting to develop in that Real Madrid shirt. He's improved the most in his physicals, I would say, with his agility and acceleration at a very high level. He's got great mental attributes and technical ones too. He's now valued at 20 million, so his value has increased quite a lot, but it's going to go a lot further than this, and he already has 3 international caps for Uruguay, aged 21. In-game in Season 1, he managed to score 16 goals with 10 assists, and the year after, it was 11 goals, again with 10 assists, which are not bad numbers at all from a 19-year-old adapting to a new country with a potential range, remember, of 120 to 150. But if you have a look, he has only recently joined Penarol, and that might cause you an issue if you try and sign him in Season 1. You might have to wait until after the first transfer window if you want to sign him in your save. I haven't confirmed that yet, but by the way that he's only just moved to Penarol, you would assume that would be the case. Now though, we've seen him towards the lowest end of his potential. Worst case scenario, this is the kind of Franco Gonzalez you get, but now let's have a look at him in his prime. Before we see him at full growth though, you might have heard that I signed him in one of my own rebuilds, and if you want to see any of those, you can find them on my channel, linked in the description down below. So once you finish this video, if you'd like to check it out, I'd massively appreciate it. But have a look at Franco Gonzalez. What a player this man now is. He is sitting at 149 current ability, just below his maximum of 150, but he's now a Uruguayan regular international, 33 appearances, 6 goals for them, age 29, an important player for Real Madrid. He's got some strong physical attributes, but it's his mentals and his technicals where he really shines. I mean, if you look at those technical attributes, there is nothing really that flaws his game. Maybe his free kicks, maybe his penalties, but he's got elite creation skills. He works harder than most. He can put in a tackle. He can hit a long throw, a corner, a cross. He can dribble. He can finish so well. Great first touch. He can even head the ball, even if he's not going to win many with that free jumping reach. So that's kind of an irrelevant attribute that just shows you how good he is. His mental attributes have really ironed themselves out as well. And of course, you guys can completely funnel his development down a different path should you want to, but I'm sure either way you're going to get top results because this guy has amazing starting attributes. He's now wanted by 2 Saudi clubs, and if you have a look in game, he's been getting some incredible numbers after you last saw him. 19 goals, 21 assists. One season he got 26 goals and 11 assists, 14 goals, 22 assists. This guy is one of the best midfielders in the world, and you can sign him for only £1 million or so. We're going to simulate to the end of his career now to see how he finishes it up. And here he is, age 38, going to go down as a Uruguay legend. His technical attributes and mentals have really gone through the roof since we last saw him because he has had that huge decrease in his physical attributes. He's retiring at the end of the season, but you can see he had a great career. After he finished with us, after another few seasons, he went on to join El Atifak, where he did pretty well there too, even if it was in the later stages of his career. But you can see this guy was hitting 30, 40 near enough goal contributions every single season, insane average match ratings, and all for only £1.5 million or so. He's a great player with elite starting attributes, and I think you should all check him out when you can. I've been Jake for FM Scout, this has been Wonderkid to Superstar, and this has been Franco Gonzalez.